when we are troubleshooting VLANs, we have to think a VLAN is the space for a subnet. And the space for a subnet should include the full pathway from the client to the port on the access switch through the trunk links up to the distribution layer and should stop at the distribution layer. And there's a lot that can go wrong. Ports could be assigned incorrectly on the access layer. We might not have the definition of those VLANs. They can actually be shut down and suspended as well, which means they are administratively disabled. We have to make sure that if a client is in a subnet which marries it to a VLAN, that the first device, the device that is connected up to it, that is responsible for assigning it to a VLAN, we have to make sure that that device is properly configured. And that means checking the VLAN of the ports that go down to your clients. The best way to do that is show VLAN brief. Very, very straightforward to do that. And if there's any doubt, you can use a number of different commands. Show interface status, which I love. Show interface switch port. That also will work. You've got to be able to do this. So when we think about VLAN assignments, we think at access layer. So I'm going to do a show VLAN brief. And let's say I was troubleshooting FA01, FA02. Those are in VLAN 10 as desired. How do we manipulate that? We go in and say switch port access VLAN, which says I want to modify an access parameter, specifically the VLAN, and I could say 20. That would move that port and whatever connects up to the port into VLAN 20 into a different broadcast domain. I'm going to change that back because I don't want that in my own topology. But let's say, and this would be the thought process I'd have. Okay, PC1 can't get to its default gateway. I'm going to check maybe the trunk link first. And if the trunk link isn't looking good, then I'm going to make sure, if the trunk link isn't looking good, I'm going to resolve that. If it is looking good, I'm going to look at the port that this PC connects up to and validate that it is in the correct VLAN ID. That would be the order that I would troubleshoot it in. And you might flip-flop it and you'd still do well. But if you can't get to your default gateway, these are the sorts of things to think about first.